What I'm gonna talk about today is when you're doing the work for God, sometimes you would think you're going in the direction, you know, that He's telling you to go in because you have told yourself it's better than the direction that you already were going. But that doesn't mean necessarily that that's the direction that God wants you going. Such as, what does that look like? I thought long as I'm out the streets and as long as I have a 9 to 5, paying rent, paying bills, you know, and doing those type of things, the square life, or what I call it, you know, that I gotta be in right standards with God. That's what He want me to do. That's enough right there. I can stop right there. But some of us, He has a specific order for you. And oftentimes it's padding behind the gifts that He's gave you. Because every gift, every talent that He's given to each one of us, He wants us to use it to the best of our ability. And what keeps us from doing it a lot of times is Satan puts emotions. You know, we'll use emotion instead of the mathematics that God sets before us. You know, then that's what it deter us. What I feel like, I don't feel like this, but if you do the math and do everything that's lined up, you'll know. And previously I talked about having faith in faith more than having faith in God. Well, currently in my life right now, there were things that were done that, of course, I had no full understanding of why it was done. You know, I felt like I was doing everything right. I'm not harming people. I'm not committing no violent acts. I'm not, you know, just angry. I'm not performing like I'm just angry at everything because I lost my son or I lost all my friends and, you know, life is just really hectic right now. But to find some type of clarity with all of that, you know, of course you still want to live right. You want to do things right. You want to cut down on a lot of things that, and you don't need, this is what lets us know that God is within all of us. Because for most of us, we don't really need the Bible to tell us what we need to stop doing. Your spirit telling you should stop doing. You know, because your spirit is the sole protector of the body. It's going to tell you, man, we need to stop smoking. This ain't what's up. It's going to send an alarm. You know, we coughing. We can't run. We can't. And it's this voice that keeps saying, look, man, we need to stop. Because you're killing us. You know, so that's your spirit. Well, I thought that, look, there is scripture that says that you should not gloat or be happy whenever God is giving consequences to one of your enemies. That's not what you're supposed to be doing. Why? Because God is trying to take away all ill malice, all violent acts, all hatred, all like he doesn't want that to be a member of your soul, spirit, or body. That's not what he wants. So now, in order for I don't want that to be in you, I have to protect that of you. So that means no longer are you the protector of people that be doing things to you and stuff like that. I am. What you do is pray for them, because that's not them. Satan is using them. So now the thing is, being that God is so merciful for you, that's why it says you should forgive, because if you don't forgive, God may not forgive you. You know, so the reason for that is just like Jonah, right, in the belly of the whale. Brief story of it. God wanted Jonah to go to the city of Nineveh. Now, Nineveh has killed all Jonah's family and friends and stuff like that. But he wanted Jonah to go and tell Nineveh, because Nineveh is an evil city now. Nineveh, he wanted to go to Nineveh and tell Nineveh, if y'all don't get y'all act together, then I'm going to erase all of y'all. So, of course, Jonah, he didn't want to go and tell them this, because there's a good because people do. They know God. They believe in God. They know the power of God. So there's a good chance that these people can get their act right and God will protect them. But in Jonah's heart, he don't want that to happen. So of course I don't want to go tell them no news that they could get them right after they did this to me, right? But what goes back to faith in God versus faith in faith. You know, God looked past my faults to bless me and take care of me and make me how I am. He don't run out of blessings. So why the goal, this is the goal. The goal is not for your enemy to stay an enemy. Your goal is for your enemy to turn into a friend. But not off your works, but God works through you. So when you perform as Jesus performs, he moves in your enemy's heart, because now they see that there's something in you and it moves to them. And when that happens, it should be praises. So not all the time when someone do something spitefully to use you or abuse you or mess you up or destroy your whole character or your financial well-being, your stability, faith in God instead of faith in faith, faith in God is the fact that this was all done for a reason. Evidently, that's not the direction I was supposed to be going. This is the direction I'm supposed to be going. And if this didn't happen, if Satan get a chance to use these people, then you would have never went to the other direction. So no, there's no room for being upset or hold animosity or resentment towards the person that set you in motion to go in the direction that God wanted you to go. Look, even in the story of Moses and Pharaoh, right? It's a scripture where it says that God hardened the heart of Pharaoh. God did. Because honestly, it could have stopped there. Once God performed in certain ways, Pharaoh had his man throw a rod down and the rod turned into a snake. Moses threw his rod down and it turned into a snake. But Moses' snake ate his snake. Then the plagues. The plagues were enough. But no, God said, no, I got more work. Now, this ain't enough. I want to show off in this situation. That won't enough. So I need him to not believe and pour more on you so I can show more of me. So not all of the time that the person in your circumference, in your job, in your business, in your school, in your whoever, wherever you're boxed in to where you have to deal with certain people, even the people that do not like you. There's a purpose for everyone. So just because it seems like these people won, what they did, they won you to go into the other direction. Everybody wins. So in that situation, no, you don't look back at those people that were used and condemn them and hope things should go wrong for them. And no. Things still should go good for them because they still did the work of God. You proceed to go on, and when you become or do what you supposed to have done for God, then all of that ties in the story. Everybody has done their part. And you have to trust in that and believe in that. He's not the author of confusion. You know? So, not all the time your enemy is your enemy. Not all the time. That's why it also says this in Psalms. He can make your enemy your footstool. What is a footstool? A step up. Look, it's people that be in your life, right? It's people when you anointed by God, right? First of all, it says that spirit judges spirit, flesh judges flesh, right? Spirit judges spirit. I see you, I judge you from your outward appearance. My outward appearance is judging your outward appearance, and that's what it is right there. Then you have spirit judges spirit. You ever talk to a person, and then when another person walked up, for some reason, your spirit didn't allow you to connect to that spirit, to even acknowledge that it's here, or it's just something about this spirit doesn't coexist with yours. And oftentimes they don't always think when you're doing this judgment that your spirit is the best spirit. It don't mean that. No, don't mean that. Their spirit could be. And your spirit is the distraught spirit. Your spirit is the uneasy spirit. See, I'm saying all the words other than your spirit is led by Satan. Led by hatred, resentment, toxic. But you thinking because yours is not coexisting with theirs, it's theirs that's like that. No, it's yours because we quick to make us the better. Sometimes you gotta stop and think. Really look at what's going on. It's sad that I was that connected and so intellectually stupid. One time I called my father, right? I called him in Texas. I was in Richmond, Virginia, in our project, doing project things. And I called my father and told him, stop praying for me because he's messing up what I'm trying to get into here. Don't that sound like the dumbest thing ever? That's the stupidest, but it was done. That's how supposedly smart. And only real believers, man, can really be like, whoa, that was deep. That was deep. 22 years old. Second one. I was standing in the kitchen, whipping up the marvelous. Wet water whipping. I'm standing in the kitchen. I'm doing what I'm doing. You know, everybody in the house, everything's going on. Ooh, ooh. And a girl come in with a friend of hers. It's a bunch of us in there. There's women, men. So I said, it's trap house. This what goes on. You know, sometimes trap house is fun house. Some of our joints. But she brung a dude in, and I can never forget, in the middle of whipping, I felt this feeling, man, that something ain't right. I look, see, in our project, right? In our projects, right? You when you come in the front door, to majority of them in Creighton Court, when you come through the front door, you can stand at the front door, and the front door basically boxes you over to the steps. You can step aside and you can see straight to the kitchen, to the back door of the kitchen, stuff like that. You got your living room over here and stuff like that. Well, I'm standing at the stove. I heard the door open. People come in, hey, woo, 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 woo. And what's your name? And dude speak, he say his name or whatever. But I got this feeling that someone don't belong in here. Someone don't mix. And what she brung in was this square dude, 95, good parents, county. That dude don't belong in here. Now look how look. Let me tell you where I take it to. Because if we don't get this dude out here, in order for God to show him a message, we all can go down to show him a message. Get him out of here. And I still wonder how come God loves me like he do. It's like I almost fought hard to be on Satan's side, but didn't want people to say I was on his side. You ever heard it? You ever watch a person, man, that I'm talking about, it seems like they all out evil. But if you tell them, man, you act just like Satan, they go crazy. Oh, where, look at Satan talking. You ain't nothing but the devil. Oh, man, people go crazy. Why go crazy if you performing for them? It's because your spirit on the inside, that's not where it want to be. It's the God in you. You have core personality and you have sub personalities. Your core personality is what God blew breath in your lungs, and that's what's in there. Your core, your sub personalities are personalities that you have adopted through the trials and tribulations of life. If you used to give with no, just give. Once someone has put it in your mind that this person is using you or you get burnt from it, now you take on this different characteristic, another personality that didn't come along with you. How do you know it didn't come along with you? When you display these personalities and it doesn't work for you like the other person, that's not you. The fact that you holding on to your money so tight because you don't want nobody else to use you and you don't want nobody else to take from you. But for some reason, there's never no money in your hand to hold tight up. It's not for your character. You're a giver. Give. God bank don't never run out. It never runs out. You cannot beat God in giving. I promise you, you can't. Promise you, you can't. But the thing that hit me the most today is what I started off speaking on. And this is a lesson for me. Because yes, I have went through things where I felt like the person should suffer. Because if it was given to me, if he told me, okay, this another, it's sad. It's so sad. I had this thing in my mind. I am a lion. And not because I've studied lions and their characteristics and then deem myself, I'm going to pattern my characteristics behind them. No. It's the fact that I move in such a way that once I've seen how they do, we do pretty much the same. Then I had it in my mind that maybe I'm who God called for your consequences. If he allowed things to happen to certain people, I'm who he called to do it. To the point I started praying. Should I get this one? Can I get this one? Now, why did I think that? Because sometimes when I was doing that it would blow my mind that the Vic is in a prime situation, a prime area for a prime situation. And I'm too good of a person. This is what I'm thinking in my mind now. I know it ain't right. It's distorted. But this is what was in my mind. They have just did this. And if I allow them to do this, then it's going to keep going. Well, God cannot stop it. Because he's going to just keep thinking they can just keep doing this. Cannot stop it. And Lord knows. He knows. If he say, yeah, I'm on you. I'm on you. That is done. I'm on you. Yeah. So, but he has allowed me. He has denied me way more than he's allowed. He has denied me way more. And now, what was the lesson in the denial? Because vengeance is his. See, I had to come out of that. I had to learn that. And to be honest, he scared that in me. First best friend I had, we was out there. We were out there. And for those that know me, know him, know us, they know we were out there. If you need cleaning, we will brush you. So then he took him. I thought we were protected. I thought we could just do it. I remember one time, this is my right hand, man. Rest in peace to my best friend, Voz, right? And I got many other rest in pieces to best friends, because I keep getting friends right after that. And then, yeah. But I remember one time, people were telling us that the police were looking for us for something. And I remember the something it was real. And I remember V walking up to the police and said, y'all looking for me? Y'all looking for me? Here I am. And they ain't even want to touch him. You know what I mean? And I mean, they didn't, man. As more as he was walking towards them, they were backing up to their car. To be honest, at that point, I thought we were untouchable. That's a dangerous place. Let me tell you how dangerous it is. I'm in a city right now that I run into so many military people, right? And I noticed that the demeanor of these military people, right? They're built in and the army will build you that way because you're supposed to be tough. You're supposed to be, but one thing I learned is people always say what they won't do or what they're not gonna do, but majority of the times that they won't do it and not gonna do it because they're scared of the consequences. It's a lot of women that want to run out here and be real whores and do it, but they don't want that stigma on their name. They don't want that consequence, so they stay in line. It's a lot of men that do the same thing, but they stay in line. It's the fear of. So that's just like with committing a violent act to another person. Every person on this planet gets pushed to a point. They get mad. But there's a blockage that stops them from doing to a person that another person would do. It's the consequences. I'm mad enough and I slap you, I don't know what's going to happen after that. I won't even train to handle what happens after that. But I know I'm mad enough to slap you. I'm mad enough, man, I swear, I used to say this myself. I wish I could kill a person and wake them up 3 days from now and tell them I told you, stop playing with me. But you know what I used to say after that? All they're going to do is just keep playing with you. Now they know they can wake up 3 days later. Anyway, but when you put a person in an atmosphere where they can tote guns and then they have the license too, that puts a different in you. That makes you think that, okay, this is okay to do. And there's no repercussions, so it's got to be okay to do. To the point back home, a friend of mine put in some work on the military statute. He put in some street work, but was still tied in with the military, and the military stepped right in. But this how good of a nature of the person, my homeboy. Even with that happen like that for him, he's still not a person, man, that's geared up to just go out there and put in work. He would rather everything be smooth. He would rather everything just be a family-orientated situation, and deal with some women. That's all my main like to do. To get him some tender loving care from a woman and get to this paper. That's it. But oftentimes I see a lot of them, act like they're geared up for war all the time. There's no repercussions, man, if I go do this and do that. Well, for me and the partners I rode with, we felt like we were under the same protection for some reason. Yeah, I miss my friends, man. But that's another, I have to have faith in God. He took them for a reason. He pruned them out of my life for a reason. Friends and associates are your identity. When it says that your reputation precedes you, It means that your reputation made it to us before you. Someone has already told us about you before you got here. So we already know how to cater to you because you had got here before you did. It says a good name is better than choice silver or gold. I guess he didn't want me to tap back into that identity. We lived under principles of we sling iron, don't mind dying. I said it before, you iron, get your mind right. I'd rather be caught with it than without it. Dead man can't talk. So you pretty much gonna beat a body if it's a body. I feel ashamed. I do. How did I get so mixed up? I love all my friends, man. I do know about a lot of stuff, but I don't care. I don't care about none of the stuff people told me about a lot of stuff. This ain't your friend for real. They was doing it to this person. This ain't your friend for real. They was a man. I don't care. I don't care. Because I would take... It's weird, right? But I got so many baby mamas. Why should I would have. I came home 2017 from a 4-year bid. And literally did 4 years in a program. It's a long story. But I lost my friend in there. And I can remember being on work work release. I remember being on work release. And I was doing plumbing, and they had me do a job over there in the West End, off of Monument. But no, it was Park Avenue. And when I was doing it, I never forget, man, it was so beautiful of a day. Man, and I couldn't help but feel the feeling of, I know that on work release, and because at the time, they was calling us the Three Amigos in the program. We were the face of the program. We were the first ones to do the work release and stuff like that. And two of us had already failed. They had already relapsed. Honestly, all of us did. Truth be told. You know what I mean? And I'm one of the heads of the program, and to be honest, when we first touched down, no, we were doing right. We were doing right. And I think me breaking, because they did. At that time, they looked up to me. They looked up to how I was doing with the program, because as far as they knew, I was doing it to a T. I was doing it exactly how it was supposed to be done, and I remember he came to me. I remember he was sitting on the bed. One of the three amigos. He was sitting on the bed, bunked beside me, and I knew his mind was just turning and turning and turning. And see, the thing is, when he got locked up, he was the plug, and then his boss used to, shop with him and stuff like that. So, long story short, that's how we get on it, and stuff like that. And you can tell he was thinking about starting up again. But this is how Satan worked, right? When I smell that fresh air out there, man, the first thing I think about is getting to that paper. I do. And because in the program you locked up, so you don't get to feel your drug of choice or get that, so you strong in there. But it's like soon as, and but I was trying to fight it. And you can tell he was contemplating. And honestly, I did. I broke. I wasn't as strong as people think I was, and my lack of strength in so many situations is called a trickling effect. It does. Snowball effect. I said, I'm thinking about getting a pack. He said, well, if you want to be in, man, I'm already putting something in motion. So we already jumped off the board. So I already set the stage for them to relapse. It's just my drug of choice, ain't their drug of choice, so I couldn't gauge what I'm doing to help them because I didn't know how it functions, But I did, man. So they relapsed, and I felt horrible about that. But I only said all that to say is why I was in that yard by myself, feeling as lonely as I was. And I know that at that particular time, I could have called my friend Titus. If he was still alive, he would have came to that backyard and kicked it with me. Not only that, if he was still alive, I would have been stronger when I came home to not try to put my hands in, because that's how we talk. And the crazy thing about it, he was a 5%er. And I'm a whole Christian. And we would be talking, man, and the part that hurt the most is Christmas before I got locked up. 5%ers don't do Christmas and things like that. But a person like me, I got a whole football team full of kids. That particular joint, I got to go do Christmas shopping, and I'm like, well, ride with me, I got a lot of Christmas shopping to do, so we went, and I never forget, he went in KB Toy Store, if that's still even moving around. He went in KB Toy Store, and he seen the crane, the toy, the crane, the remote control crane thing to dig up, so, and his son was Malik. Well, it still is Malik. You know what I mean? And Malik was real young. So being that he believed in what he believed in, he can't give Malik Christmas, right? But He like, man, I'm thinking about getting this. And I'm like, well, get it. He like, but you know I don't believe in. I said, well, listen, bro. Just because you give him a gift on a certain day, don't mean you wouldn't have gave him a gift on any other day. If you want to treat that day a day, then you giving him a gift on that day, it's just a gift on that day. So he like, yeah, you right. He said, or I could give it to him a day before. However you want to do it. But see, something about giving. And see, the pastor said something today too. And it's not the fact of just giving. It's when Jesus is in it. It's a whole different ball game. To the point that when he did that, he thought that his family was pretty much over. She didn't want to deal with. But when he did that, his family came back. Everything he wanted came back. You know, it was like, and then he even said, he said, man, sometimes you have me thinking I should rethink my religion. Only for God to take him. But me personally, I would have took that over top of him not being here. Regardless of whatever people were telling me, whatever I knew, I know. But he took him. And God has a reason for it. He has a reason for it. But anyway, the whole lesson to all of that is, don't ever be mad at the person that's performing what they're performing. They're being used. There's only two things going to happen with you and with God. God is either going to use you or use you. With your consent or without your consent, he's going to use you. You know, so with that, be blessed, man. Keep going in the direction that God tell you to go. Even when you don't see the vision, it's going to blow your mind.